Now, top story this afternoon, the vehicle said to be involved in raping a woman in Soweto has been identified, but the rapists are still at large and no arrests have been made so far. SAPS say they are struggling to identify the registration number of the vehicle. The police are urging people to come forward with evidence that could help them trace the culprits. A gang of men had reportedly been driving around in a white Toyota Quantum. They are allegedly picking up unsuspecting women in and around Soweto and the West Rand, rob them and rape them.
At this stage, I cannot confirm any arrest, but there are leads that the police are following to bring these perpetrators to book. We have identified one of the taxis through the CCTV footages, but the registration number of this taxi is not clear. But we know what type of a taxi that we are looking to. Unfortunately, at this stage, no one has been arrested.
The women they are being attended to. I have not personally met them. I'll only be meeting them on Sunday for debriefing. The reason for not meeting them is they were supposed to be seen by professionals first. Those that are supposed to give them, those that are giving them counseling services as well as medical attention. As soon as they are ready, I will actually be meeting with them as well as visiting the spot where this crime was committed. So far, I'm very happy with the engagement that we have had with the taxi associations. It's beginning to bear fruits. We had an engagement yesterday, an open meeting where the media was invited, and they made a commitment that they will assist us to find the perpetrators. And I think through their involvement and their assistance, we are actually moving towards solving this particular case. When the situation is like this, there's a lot of blame game. Remember, police are also blamed for having not responded positively to the victims that went to them. And the taxi association are complaining about visibility, but they're also supposed to be visible in their own routes, because the ladies that were attacked were picked up in areas where taxis go out and in their own language they say it's touting. It goes out and tout in those areas. It happens during the day when it is quieter, and they must take responsibility that we need visibility of the taxi squad in such areas. They must not only be visible when they fight against each other in terms of the routes, they must be visible when they are supposed to be protecting their own customers as well.
Meanwhile, the taxi associations have offered full help and cooperation in finding the accused. They say the police are aware of the incidents, but no one has done anything about it.
Issue of the rape, we do not condone it, and it was brought to our attention, and we're making each and every move that we can make to work with the authorities to bring these people to book. If they could be known, we are definitely going to arrest them ourselves and send them over to the authorities. We spoke with the MEC of Community Safety this morning as to say how can we work together. So we're having an urgent meeting on Monday, which will bring out more of or paving a way to say how are we going to take this matter forward. What we are looking at is if we can have to know who the vehicle belongs to, which association it is, then we'll definitely do the right thing, go to that association and get the owner of the vehicle and the driver. Because the main person here will be the driver that we need to get to come and do some answering questions. And from there, then we'll be knowing, was it really a taxi or was it just a minibus? Then we'll be able then to can look at that.
The person who's supposed to be responsible for personal safety is the Santago and other related taxi unions. They must make sure that the taxis that are on the roads Maybe they bring this camera dashboard or something else. They must find avenues or means, because we are living in the digital era. These perpetrators can be found so easily. Someone somewhere knows something. As a commission, we believe that the police must set a task team to deal with this decisively and make sure that the perpetrators of these heinous crimes are brought to book and are sentenced for a longer term in jail. We cannot have a situation whereby women have to look over their shoulders every single day when they have to board the taxis. What is it that they're going to use going forward if they're not protected even in the public transport system? So that is what is worrying us as a Commission for Gender Equality.
And for now, 8 on 7 reporter Tisetso Matsietsa joins us live from Johannesburg. Tisetso, thank you so much for joining us yet again. Perhaps just start off by taking us through these several cases which have been reported to the police so far, the numbers and the women who have gone forward to the police.
Well, we do know that a couple of women have come forward. 7 women have come forward after the incident that took place in Roodepoort this week, saying that they've also experienced similar assaults as well as harassment, which is kind of working in a lot of the police favor, because the more women that come up, it brings a stronger case to the perpetrators and also catching these perpetrators. But right now we're outside Bree taxi rank, where we know that a lot of commuters use taxis on a daily basis, and the safety of passengers has come into question at this moment. With me, I've got about 3 passengers who use taxis on a daily basis, and were telling me that this incident really traumatized them, because at the moment they've also experienced similar cases, and they're willing to share some of these with us. Buntle, thank you so much for joining us. How did this incident make you feel, the rape incident that took place?
It was a very traumatic incident, knowing very well that I myself take taxis to go to school and back home. So having that idea now, having that happen, has just become a very scary thought. And so it could basically happen to any one of us. So you never know what could possibly happen to you when you get into a taxi, so it's just not safe.
How safe are you in a taxi?
I don't think I'm really safe. I don't think taxis are safe, because these taxi drivers these days can't be trusted, because they can't help you, Yes.
Tell us about the incident that took place this morning. Yes, while you were on your way to school.
Yeah, we were at Braamfontein right now. We were going to the restaurant. Then we met some other guys, 2 guys. Then they were trying to mug us, really. So I just recognized them. Then the other guy just said, "Bye again." Then we just went off. Yeah.
What is it, according to you think that Santaco can do, or the association can do, to ensure that passengers are safe in the taxis?
Honestly, I feel like they can just make us as women feel more secure. Not necessarily, they can just make us feel more secure. Just have that surety of, okay, we're going to take you there safely and you're going to be fine. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Those were just 3 commuters who take taxis on a daily basis from Bree taxi rank, situated in Newtown in Johannesburg, just sharing some of their experiences with us. As women, they feel vulnerable, so they feel that Santaco or the association at Bree should implement some systems to ensure that women feel safer in the taxis.
And now, Tisetso, just talk to us with regard to the efforts made by the police and the Gauteng department made so far with regards to engaging with the affected victims so far. Have they met up with any of these victims?
Well, what we do know so far is that the MEC of Community Safety did make mention that she will be meeting up with the victims as soon as possible, because what we do know is that the victims are in a shelter which cannot be named. So the MEC did make mention that she will be meeting with the victims as soon as possible. And Santaco did also make mention that they feel deeply about what happened this week, and they will not lie down until something is done. We spoke to the Secretary General of Santaco in Gauteng, Mr. Ralph James, who expressed their deep frustration about what has happened. And also, just to add on to that, this is not the first incident to take place in Gauteng. There was also an incident that took place at Noordexterang where a female was sexually assaulted by taxi drivers. Ralph James did also make mention of this, saying that awareness campaigns need to be, need to be implemented. Awareness education around women and children's safety. So it does show a bit of a positive progress on the side of Santaco, as well as the Department of Community Safety.
And now, before I let you go to set, so what's the latest with regards to the investigations by the police services, as some media companies are actually reporting that some arrests have been made so far? Is this indeed true? Have there been people arrested so far?
Well, when we spoke to Lungelo Dlamini this morning, no arrest had been made thus far, but we will be keeping you updated on the progress and just following up on the story, just keeping an eye on it and keeping you updated. But as far as we know, no arrests have been made.
Well, thank you so much for that update, Tusetso. Well, that was ANN7 reporter Tusetso Matsiata coming to us live from Johannesburg with more details on the horrific taxi rape incidents. Well, as more and more victims come forth with reports of sexual assault, each department seems to be passing the buck on who is responsible for the safety of female passengers. Let's cut across to my colleague Abigail Vasachi for more.
Well, thank you very much, Matapelo. The big question still lingers: who is ultimately responsible for ensuring the safety of passengers who are using taxi services? Let's take a look at some of the comments coming through there. The Taxi Association has commented. They're saying police are aware of these taxi rapes, but the police have done nothing about it as yet. That is the comment coming through from the Taxi Association. Moving on, Sizakela Nkosi Malobane, the Gauteng Community Safety MEC, has also mentioned something, saying it is not right to blame only the police. Taxi squads should not just fight for power, but should also be fighting for the people. Let's take a look at more comments coming through. This one from Javu Baloy, the Commission for Gender Equality. Javu says the police's reaction in dealing with rape cases is very slow, but taxi operators have a bigger role to play in this regard. Taking a look at more comment, the final comment coming through, this one from Michael Sun, the MMC for Public Safety. Michael says the city will increase its JMPD patrols and stop and searches in and around the Soweto area. We do know that the Soweto and surrounding area is the area where the bone of contention lies, where a white quantum has been identified as picking up women and raping them. But that is what we do know for now. Matapelo, it's back to you.